Before this hearing even begins, here's what makes this case so unusual. A man walks into court ready to plead guilty after renting a vehicle that was never returned. But according to him, he wasn't the one driving when everything went wrong. He says he trusted a friend, handed over the rental car without authorization, and now the vehicle has disappeared without a trace. That single decision has landed him in court facing a felony charge, more than $24,000 in restitution, and the possibility of jail time. As this hearing unfolds, pay close attention to what the judge focuses on. Surprisingly, it isn't just the missing vehicle. The judge repeatedly shifts the conversation toward accountability, responsibility, and whether the defendant has any realistic plan to repay the victim. Those questions become just as important as the guilty plea itself. You'll also notice something interesting. Even though the defendant admits he violated the rental agreement, the judge doesn't ignore the alleged role of the so-called friend. Instead, the court openly questions whether that individual should also face consequences. That creates a fascinating legal and moral debate. When someone trusts another person with property they weren't authorized to lend, who ultimately bears the responsibility? As you watch, ask yourself this. If someone betrays your trust after you break the rules to help them, should you still be held fully accountable? Let us know your thoughts in the comments because this courtroom exchange raises questions that go far beyond one missing rental car.
23CR2261 is called. Ricardo Kelly, that is you?
Yes.
Present with Mr. Adams, your attorney and the state's attorney does. The defendant waive a formal reading of this indictment and arraignment. And can we proceed in summary?
Yes.
In summary, this indictment, sir, which was handed up by the grand jury on December 13th, 2023, alleges that on or about August 31st, 2023, in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed a state jail felony of theft of services involving a Mazda automobile under some kind of a rental agreement that because I guess violated it. And do you understand what you're charged with here? If convicted, you face confinement in a state jail for any term of not less than 180 days or more than 2 years. Additional, you may be assessed a fine not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand? The agreement's been reached in the case you'll be pleading guilty and sentenced to 2 years in the state jail. That would be suspended. You would be placed on 5 years regular probation. There's restitution here in the amount of $24,282.
Yes, Judge.
Where'd the car go? Was it wrecked or something or what?
Well, it hadn't been returned.
Where is it?
He doesn't know where it is.
You don't know where it is?
No.
I'm asking you.
As I explained before.
Let's play like I don't have 5,000 cases. Tell me, what did you explain before to me?
I explained that I rented the car for a friend, and the friend didn't do right with the car. Now the car is missing. I don't know where it is. I've been trying to find it. So it's no point in me trying to get him to come to court to try to help me with this. So I'm willing to take my probation and get it out the way.
Judge, this has been reset several times for us to be able to find the car. The car hasn't been found.
What are y'all going to do with the quotes friend who's sticking it to him?
I actually went to the police station yesterday to talk to someone. I did talk to a sergeant. He did state that if I was able to come up with the information about the car, he would look the car up just to see if the guy, just to prove that the guy was the last person that had the car, possession of the car. So
As of now, our office doesn't have any additional cases regarding this case.
Are you going to pay back $24,282?
just have to work and do what I have to do, sir.
Well, how much are you able to pay?
I don't have nothing right now, so.
You don't have a dime you can pay it?
No.
Must be nice to be able to not have to pay $24,000 and give a new car back, huh? And then scamper away on probation.
I mean, the point of being on probation is to pay the car.
No, it's not. That's not the point, sir. No, that's one of the factors. Restitution. You don't even have a plan for restitution. You have nothing to give right now. I mean, this happens a lot up here where people come in, get probation, and then scamper away, and they never pay a dime to the people who are lost and the people who, I guess it's Avis, are out the money and they never get the money. Right. What do you do for a living?
Right now, I'm a shift leader at a restaurant.
Okay, and is that a salary or do you get an hourly wage? How much do you get an hour?
$11 an hour.
No, that's 22,000 over a year. So how much are you going to be able? Have you thought about a payment plan of how you're going to pay this back, like per month, like a loan?
However it's going to go, I just have to go from there. But I don't have a plan until it's orchestrated. So once it's orchestrated, then I go from there. I just have to word it.
Okay. You know, when you made the deal with Avis, they made the deal with you. They didn't give you permission to let that car go to anybody else. You know that, don't you? Mm-hmm. That's like fraud, because you signed a contract saying you were going to take care of it and that it was not going to be re-let to someone else.
This is where the hearing takes an important turn. Up to this point, the discussion has centered on the missing vehicle, but now the judge focuses on restitution, the financial obligation to compensate the victim. In many criminal cases, especially those involving property loss, paying restitution isn't optional. The court wants to know not just whether someone accepts responsibility, but whether they have a realistic plan to repair the damage. Notice how the defendant admits he has no money available today and doesn't yet have a payment strategy. From the judge's perspective, that's a major concern because probation often depends on demonstrating both accountability and a willingness to make progress toward repayment. The judge isn't necessarily expecting the full amount immediately, but he is looking for evidence of a concrete plan. What do you think? Should someone receive probation without a clear roadmap for paying back more than $24,000? Or is accepting responsibility enough to deserve a second chance?
Well, you violated that contract and then the car is gone.
Why don't you pay whatever was the rental fee per day? Pay that as restitution. Can you afford that? Whatever was the rental fee? That'd be an idea.
All I know is I can just do my best and work. I'm already in a situation behind somebody else. This I understand I signed my name, but this was the point of trying to help someone and it messed me up in the end. I'm sitting here admitting that I was wrong for signing my name and letting them use the car.
That's true. But he's got some responsibility too.
He don't want to come in. That's true.
I hope the district attorney's office is looking into that too, because that's kind of, he knows, he's taken something from this man through Avis, and that's kind of like stealing, isn't it?
Yes, Judge, we can follow up on that.
Here's one of the biggest legal lessons in this entire hearing. The judge explains that the case isn't simply about a missing car. It's about violating the terms of the rental agreement. According to the defendant's own statements, he allowed another person to use the vehicle even though he wasn't authorized to do so. That's why the court keeps emphasizing personal responsibility. What's particularly interesting is that the defendant isn't denying his mistake. Instead, he's arguing that his decision to help someone else ultimately backfired. The judge acknowledges that possibility while making it clear that signing a contract carries legal obligations. Trusting the wrong person doesn't automatically erase those obligations. This is a reminder that contracts don't just protect companies. They also establish responsibility when something goes wrong. Would you have trusted a friend with a rental vehicle knowing your own name was on the agreement?
We can follow up on
That's that. And there's no reason why that person shouldn't be looked into and him be held accountable as well.
If it was me that did something to the car, I was made him take it, but I didn't do nothing to it but sign off on it.
No, but you loaned it to someone without the authority to do that. You were giving someone else's property, which you shouldn't have done. That's why you're in a mess. And he's in a mess too, because you were responsible and then he betrayed your trust. If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes.
How do you plead to this, guilty or not guilty?
Yes.
Pleading guilty voluntarily because you are guilty. That's a question. Yes or no? Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
I'm guilty but signing.
Yeah, that's yes or no.
It's a yes or no.
Yes.
It's,
Yes.
yeah, guilty, but it doesn't mean it's either guilty or not guilty. Here. I'm going to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document, understand it, discuss it with your attorney, or the contents true and correct?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 1 tendered
No.
without objection admitted. This states you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It's freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with? I'm just going to read to you. You've read it. You are guilty of the crime charged and any lesser included offenses, and you are giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. Totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All true, it states. So help you God. State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes. Pre-sentence report is waived.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to follow this agreement and find you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It is freely and voluntarily made. There is sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this state jail felony. I'm following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the state jail for 2 years.
This may be the most unexpected moment of the hearing. While the judge firmly holds the defendant responsible for violating the rental agreement, he also makes it clear that the alleged friend shouldn't automatically escape scrutiny. In fact, the judge openly encourages law enforcement and prosecutors to determine whether that individual should also be investigated. That distinction matters because legal responsibility and moral responsibility don't always overlap perfectly. The defendant may still be accountable for the contract he signed, but if another person intentionally kept or failed to return the vehicle, that conduct could potentially raise separate legal issues. The court isn't excusing the defendant. It is recognizing that more than one person's actions may have contributed to the outcome. Do you think the judge struck the right balance between holding the defendant accountable while also pushing for the other individual's investigation?
That confinement will be suspended. You were placed on regular probation for 5 years. You must pay restitution to Avis in the complainant in this case in the amount of $24,282. There will be other terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for the circumstances of this case. Also, as a condition of probation, you will fully work with the district attorney's office and law enforcement officials to take all efforts to get that vehicle back. And you will fully cooperate with the authorities in that regard. Do you understand? I'd like that guy brought to justice and get in here as soon as possible. Everybody is with the state if possible, please.
Yes.
See what you can do about that. All right, anything else? That is all. Please see the probation officer.
The sentence is now official, and it's worth breaking down exactly what happened. Although the defendant receives a 2-year state jail sentence, that confinement is suspended, meaning he won't immediately serve that jail time as long as he successfully completes the conditions of probation. Instead, he's placed on 5 years of regular probation and ordered to pay more than $24,000 in restitution. But that's not all. The judge also requires him to cooperate fully with investigators in every effort to recover the missing vehicle. That condition shows the court is still interested in finding out exactly what happened and whether additional accountability may follow. This outcome gives the defendant an opportunity to avoid incarceration, but it also places significant responsibilities on him moving forward. Probation isn't freedom without conditions. It's a second chance that comes with strict expectations. This case is a powerful reminder that one decision can create lasting legal consequences. The defendant admitted he violated the rental agreement by allowing someone else to use the vehicle, and when that vehicle was never returned, the legal responsibility ultimately remained tied to his name. The judge accepted the negotiated plea agreement, imposed a suspended 2-year state jail sentence, ordered 5 years of probation, required restitution totaling $24,282, and instructed the defendant to cooperate fully with investigators in recovering the missing vehicle. Perhaps the most memorable part of this hearing was the judge's insistence that the alleged friend should also be investigated if the evidence supports it. The court recognized that while the defendant accepted responsibility for his own actions, that didn't necessarily mean another person's conduct should be ignored. Now we want to hear from you. Did the judge reach the right outcome? Or do you think this case should have been handled differently? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this courtroom breakdown informative, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with friends who enjoy real courtroom cases and legal analysis. We'll see you in the next courtroom breakdown.